Hey there and welcome back for the 77th video in the 100 video challenge. Today we're continuing on with chapter summaries from Rich Dad Poor Dad, and today's is on chapter 3 titled Lesson 2, Why Teach Financial Literacy. The author retired at 47, so whether he works or not, his assets that he spent years watering like a tree have gotten big enough that they continue to grow by themselves way ahead of inflation and now provide shade for his enjoyment. Times are fast-paced, and there are going to be many ups and downs over the years to come. So we need to focus more on our education and flexibility than money. Money without financial intelligence will soon be gone. In life, it's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep, and for how many generations you keep it. We've all heard of lottery winners and sports figures go from making millions to having nothing, and this is due to a lack of financial literacy. If we wanted to build a high building, first we need to dig a very deep hole and pour a strong foundation. This is comparable to our financial literacy. Too many people try to build their Empire State Building of financial wealth using a 6-inch slab for foundation. We need to learn accounting, and rule number 1 is to know the difference between an asset and a liability, and then buy assets. This is the only rule, and if followed, it will make you rich. The rich acquire assets, while the poor and middle classes acquire liabilities they think are assets. Most adults need to unlearn their definitions of assets and liabilities. An asset is not the word definition of it, but rather what the numbers tell you. We need to be literate in words and numbers. Simply put, an asset puts money in our pocket while a liability takes money out. An income statement, aka a profit and loss statement, measures income and expenses, money in and money out. A balance sheet is supposed to balance assets against liabilities. The cash flow of the poor person with a job is just income from their paycheck and their expenses, like taxes, food, rent, clothes, fun, and transportation. The cash flow of the middle class is similar, but also adds liabilities like mortgages, credit cards, and other loans. Neither have anything in the asset box on their balance sheet. The cash flow of a wealthy person starts with assets like stocks, bonds, notes, real estate, and intellectual property, and they all produce income such as dividends, interest, rental income, and royalties. What people do with their money once it's in their hands tells the story. Whether poor, educated, and rich, too many people are not financially literate. Many people will increase their income, but their liabilities also increase. The biggest expense for most people is taxes, specifically Social Security and income tax. Then, once a house is bought, property tax. People soon find themselves with increased liabilities and secured in the rat race due to following the crowd and trying to keep up with the Joneses. Intelligent people hire people more intelligent than they are. Many people believe that their home is their biggest investment and asset, even though it's a liability. The reason homes are liabilities is fivefold. Number 1, most people work their whole life to pay for a home they never own because they usually buy more than one, and when they do, they start a new 30-year loan to pay off the previous one. Number 2, even though a tax deduction is received for interest on mortgage payments, all other expenses are typically paid for with after-tax dollars. 3, property taxes, which can go up. 4, houses don't always go up in value. Some will pay $1 million for a house and only get $700K for it years later. And number 5, opportunities are missed when all money is tied up in a house. Making the choice to get a home that's too expensive has a threefold impact. Number 1, time is lost where other assets could have been growing. 2, loss of capital, which could have gone to more assets due to the cost directly associated to the house. And 3, loss of education. Many rely on their home, savings, and retirement plan and miss out on investment experience. If we want a house or a bigger house, first buy more assets that will generate the cash flow to pay for it. On our financial sheet, ensure our assets column is maximized and the liability column is minimized. Ideally, assets more than cover liabilities and expenses, and the balance is reinvested into the asset column. This way, the asset column continues to grow and the income it produces grows with it. That's how the rich get richer. Meanwhile, the middle class don't have balance sheets. They're loaded with liabilities, with no real assets that generate income. Then a deal of a lifetime comes along, and they can't take advantage of the opportunity that may arise because they need to play it safe. Quote unquote high risk investments aren't necessarily high risk. They just require more financial literacy. That's it for our Chapter 3 summary. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll catch you beautiful souls on the flip side. Peace out.